All right, we should be live.
Okay. Got some new decor up. That's looking pretty good. I got a bunch of space here. I don't know what to do with, but
Yeah.
for that, make it look good soon.
Yeah, I think I got to rearrange back here a little bit. I like the Wonka, but there's too much like dead space back there. Kind of the same.
Yeah.
I like the thing right there. That's nice.
Oh yeah. Right above it is Alien.
Nice.
Looking good.
It's coming together.
Yeah, I have this like bookshelf in the back that's like all my comics and books and shit. I would do it in front of there, but this is where my computer's at. So I got my Star Wars, like my Princess Leia thing over there. That's pretty much it.
The flowers are nice.
Yeah, the
It's
flowers
nice
are nice.
decor. Yeah.
Natural.
Good. Well, welcome to another weekly stream here, talking talking Ted Lasso, talking Succession. So big spoilers here if you haven't watched either of those shows. I probably wouldn't listen, but that's just me. But yeah, also just cap it off with our director's dive here on Paul Thomas Anderson with
PTA.
Phantom Thread. So
Yes.
yeah,
Phantom Thread.
join us for some convo. But to kick it off, anybody got something good they've been watching? Anything new? Something cool?
I haven't really been watching too much. I don't know. I've kind of been busy. I mean, I guess I'm keeping up with The Mandalorian, but that's really like it besides Ted Lasso and Succession.
Why are you doing that?
What?
Why are you watching The Mandalorian?
Why you do that to
I don't
yourself?
know.
I've been keeping it too, actually. So
Do you guys
talk about
enjoy
that.
it, or is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's something to put
what do you
on.
think, Matt?
I mean, I'm at the. I don't know. I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna go back and watch all the Star Wars stuff now because I already watched Boba Fett. and
All
that's-
of it.
Well, I'm already like pretty close.
Wait, what do you mean all of it?
All of
The only things I haven't seen is Andor and Obi-Wan. I want to say.
Oh yeah,
that's only
Andor's
two.
good. Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
I mean,
I heard
Obi-Wan
Andor's
could
the
be like a
shit.
2-hour movie, but it's like 6 episodes.
Right.
and
It's
full
so
of a bunch of
short, so I should just
bullshit
binge
kid
it.
Leia jokes.
Yeah. But I don't know. The Mandalorian, it kind of just feels like something to put on for me now. I kind of just sometimes I tune out. I don't know. I watch it, but like it doesn't feel special anymore to me like it did at all. But
I agree.
Yeah.
We talked about this like I don't know last week or the week before, and it's mainly just about like world building. Like they call it
It's
like
too
the
much.
Mandoverse or whatever now. You know, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. And well, I don't know. Did you see the latest episode?
Yeah, I liked it. It was like more of a like Blade Runner.
I mean,
I don't know. They're like a
oh.
little side quest still, I guess, but
it was okay. I was just gonna say randomly Jack Black and Lizzo.
yeah, I mean,
We're in that.
the immersion is completely gone for Star Wars at this point, I'd say. You know, like
Yeah.
especially when you see people like that, you're just like, oh, okay, so we're just making whatever now.
Yeah, right.
Okay, cool. Like
They're appealing to all audiences.
that, they're definitely trying to draw like everybody. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, but I mean, I don't know. Disney, they're in shambles at the moment, I'd say, as far as like quality.
Disney-
and shit.
What's the definition of insanity, right? That's what Disney's doing right now. They're just doing the same.
They just keep
thing
putting out the
over
same
and over
thing. Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's worked for the last 60 years. What the fuck, guys? It's got to keep working.
Unfortunately, the numbers, I feel like they're still making a shit. Like they're still killing
They
it.
are,
you know,
but
like people are
not-
still going to
Not
them.
to like what they're looking for. That's
Nah.
for sure at the
Yeah.
moment.
No way.
It's gotta be getting close to like sunk costs.
But is
right?
anybody
Like-
making what they're looking for?
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers is, I
Mario
think.
Bros. Yeah, highest
okay.
animated of all time. So
Yeah.
and I kind of saw
Oh,
that coming
shit.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
I
Like
expected
337 worldwide.
I expected $1 billion, but I don't know if it's gonna reach that. Maybe
Yeah.
if it sticks around.
It might die off.
It
Like
will.
cool down. Because
It'll
this
definitely.
weekend was pretty hot for it. So
But most animated movies, the kids keep coming back, or like this. It sticks
Yeah.
around for at least a couple months, so it'll make a decent chunk. We'll see about $1 billion though. I don't know.
what was the budget on that one? Do you know?
I don't know actually. I'd
Yeah,
say
right
probably
now.
relatively cheap, but
That's what I was thinking. Like maybe 100 million. I couldn't find
100
it on
million.
IMDb.
Yep.
No, 100 million. Yeah.
Wow.
that's I mean that's gonna be a successful movie for sure. And I mean, that's going to open up the Nintendo universe. I think now they're all
For
like,
sure.
okay,
The connected
Yep.
Nintendo universe.
We did it.
I would if I was in their shoes.
Smash,
I would.
dude.
That's just me.
Smash for days.
That's where you make $1 billion if you don't with Mario. You make a Super Smash Brothers movie in 5 years, you're making $1 billion with that. I'd say, but that's just me.
I'd be interested in the Super Smash
It'd be fun.
movie.
I mean,
I'd definitely see it.
yeah,
I
you'd
could
see
be
me in
down.
that theater, like for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do Zelda. I'd say,
Yeah.
like, what's the next few? Like Zelda,
You're right.
Captain Falcon. I don't know. That'd be a
Well,
fun
the thing
one,
with-
Like a race one. I don't know.
yeah.
Well, the
I
thing with
mean,
Zelda, he doesn't really speak,
Heist,
does he?
a heist maybe.
No,
Not
you're,
really,
you're
no.
gonna have to like give him a voice somehow, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Just might be a little jarring, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he does like screech and stuff. Like he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So he has like
Yeah.
a voice.
He wails.
He vocalizes.
He does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Nintendo games where like the main character doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I feel like you can just get around it.
I mean, if the main story is him like alone on a journey, like to save Zelda or defeat Ganon, like you can do the whole stoic like dramatic thing with it. Maybe I don't know. Make it mystical. There's fairies and shit.
Yeah,
You know, like
he's
there's
gotta be,
weird
like,
shit.
honorable and
Like
stuff. Still, he's got to be different.
Yeah.
Than Mario.
Yeah.
You know, like
you gotta set. It's weird. You have to like set him up as like just the typical knight. I would, like the archetypical knight
Which is
character. Yeah, it's fine. It's just
he's kind of like an
yeah.
outsider character, though. He doesn't seem like he should be like the second or the third part of the Triforce, but it's like he's woken up by the fairy and he's like, Link, you gotta go, man. Like, I don't know. It
Get your
feels
ass
like
up, lazy piece
there's
of
a lot
shit.
of like room for him to still be like a fun character, I'd say, but I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, but what, Kirby after that? I don't know. It's a tough call. The next
Cheers.
few, see who turns.
Yeah,
out
I'm like
for him
trying
now.
to think of like the straight Nintendo like franchise games that they have. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kirby'd be good probably.
Yeah, be
I was
cute,
thinking
right?
Metroid,
I was
but
just
I
gonna
think
say
that's
Metroid.
I think that might be a different game developer. So I don't know if they can like. Well, I don't know. I don't know how it'll work.
They got
That would be dope.
deals behind the scenes.
I'd be down
Yeah.
for a Metroid movie.
Metroid would
make
be
it,
cool.
Make it, yeah, it'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Who else? All the Fire Emblem games go deep into some
yeah.
fucking
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, like movie 2 or 3 for Smash, you bring in like Game and Watch, all these other guys, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
get really weird with it. But,
I was a Game and Watch main for a while.
dude, me too. Melee. It was Melee, right? He was the best in Melee. Like he
Was
peaked
it?
in
I've
Melee
only played
and then went
the-
downhill.
I've only
Yes.
played in Switch, but he's
Oh,
good in
yeah.
Switch. What are you talking about?
He's
Downhill?
okay. He's not like he used to be. That's for sure, man. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
He'll toss those nines out. He'll throw those
maybe,
nines
maybe you're
out.
just missing out on the potential.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The key was
Shit,
way
they-
more dangerous back in the old games. I feel like it's
Yeah.
he's like too floaty now or something. But,
Okay.
anyways, yeah. I don't know. I just had like one thing I wanted to say. I watched 80 for Brady, so I did it.
How was
and,
that?
It's, I don't know. I mean, I love movies, so I'll watch any movie and be like, yeah, fuck it, you know. But
Yeah.
this I actually liked it. I mean, it's made for one audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can like put myself into that audience because I just like movies or whatever. But I don't know if like you're a grandma and you went to see this movie in theaters. I bet you had like a great time, honestly. And like I laughed out loud a couple. It's like funny. The side characters like really shine in it. Like they hired a lot of good people to come in and make the movie like punch up. You know.
Mhm.
So I mean, Tom Brady fucking terrible, obviously, but it is worth. I don't know if you want to just like watch something that you're just gonna like. I don't know. No one here will ever put this movie on, but I guess like it's worth a watch. It's fun. Fuck it.
I probably wouldn't put it on personally, but my wife would. So
Yeah,
I
Emily
will watch
Emily
it at
really
some
wanted to
point.
watch it, so I was like, all right,
Yeah.
it came on to Paramount, so let's watch it now. And then I had a good time. It's a brisk, fun movie.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've only watched Love is Blind, finishing that up, you know. Another 3 episodes got dumped, so. Yeah. So far, you know, same old shit. Nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
They're about to get married. It's at the wedding portion now, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Then the reunion, so we get to get all the tea from behind the cameras, you know, stuff we didn't see.
Wow.
All the people, drama.
Juice.
Just a
Yeah.
well-oiled machine. Right there.
Good juice.
This is probably one of the best seasons, though. I will say, like, usually they like have just all these couples that aren't gonna make it this season. There's some that like, oh, these are like genuine people, so it's kind of nice.
Gotta shake it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually vetted their people now, and they didn't come on where they were like, yeah, I'm just here for the clout. So when I get out of here, I'm going back to my girlfriend. Yeah, it is. So these people actually seem like
God
realistic
damn.
There was
people.
none of those people. They had to toss a couple in, right?
Well, there's a couple that are villains, and there's a couple that are just a little shifty.
Mhm.
That's like, I don't know. You guys watch The Bachelor? Probably not. Bachelorette? No.
I did at one
I have
point.
at one point, yeah.
Okay. Well, they're like a community, right? It's the Bachelor Nation, and they like all live in this. Like, I don't know how they live, but it seems like a compound because they all know each other, and they're all I used to love Bachelor in Paradise because it would be everybody coupling up, and it's not just one dude chasing after 30 girls or 30 girls chasing after one dude. That's not like, I don't enjoy that as much.
The D to P ratio there. Yeah,
I like the coupling up on the beach, but even now they're like, oh, I'm waiting for so and so. It's like, how do you know they're coming? Where's the mystery? Where's the passion? Not that it really ever had it, but it was still fun to watch. I don't know. Now it's just not fun because they're all like, yeah, I'm just waiting for so and so. Oh, me and so talked, and we were pretty excited to come here. It's like, what? This defeats the purpose.
Y'all conniving, y'all scheming.
There's too many levels to this, man. I feel like I'm missing like 10 years of like history now with these like reality shows where it's like I don't know any of the people. So like if you don't,
it's like alumni that have come back.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's she's a long time, fucking 7 years. She was back in Bachelorette, also Bachelor the next season, Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, that's how Sarah is. She catches me up because I started about 5 years ago, but she's been watching it since like the beginning, so she like knows everybody. She follows them on it. I mean, they're all influencers now, so they all come on for clout or, So yeah, I mean, she gives me the rundown on most of those things. So there's a couple couples that I'd root for, and those ones actually are still together. So there's still some magic. Now it's completely dead though. These last 2 seasons. So bummer.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah. Well, that's my trash TV talk.
I mean, that kind of segues into a topic I wanted to just like briefly talk about, but just like platforms in general, streaming platforms. Like, which ones do you guys find yourselves, or which ones do you subscribe to? And out of the ones that you're subscribed to, like, which do you find yourselves like going back to, or like consistently finding good shit on, like to watch shit on?
Are you running a poll right now?
Oh man. Well, I don't know, because like, yeah, I am actually. I mean, I need the data. I need numbers. I need to crunch because like I'm just like finding myself. I didn't realize that Phantom Thread was on Netflix. So when I did that, I was like, oh, does Netflix like they got shit like I don't know about? They got good shit. Like but then I just ended up like doom scrolling Netflix, forever.
You can't find anything.
Yeah, it's like there's so much shit, and like it's so much range. Like it's scraping the bottom of the barrel, So I don't know. I was curious because like I was scrolling through Hulu the day before that, and I was like, man, there's some good shit on Hulu. Like that's kind of been like the one I gravitate to. But there's like HBO, and there's so much now. But I was just curious because I don't know. Is Netflix like as good as it once was? You guys, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like it's deteriorated.
Yeah, everyone has drained it because it was like the first one that came, and then everyone else sprouted their own shit and took all their content back. But I don't know. I was thinking about it a while back where I was like, if I had to pick one streaming service for the rest of my life to be like, I can only watch that one, I'd pick HBO Max right now because
that's what I was gonna say too.
The widest catalog of like their stuff, and there's so much history that they have, and like they look like they have a pretty bright future as far as like content goes too. So like I'd be okay with some of the stuff. But for mine, I subscribe to like way too many. I probably have like 8, and I go to each one for like a certain thing. So like I go to Amazon to watch Psych, or like random Prime. I don't know. Yeah, I understand people who like unsubscribe from Netflix or unsubscribe from shit and then just binge shit, because I think I'm maybe going towards that slightly, but
dude, I think I might too. I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm with you on like HBO being my top, and then like Amazon Prime. I mean, I kind of just get because I have like Prime. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the shipping, to me is worth it.
That's clutch.
Sure. But then, like, other than that, like, Netflix is like at the bottom. Like you were saying, Matt, like unsubscribing from stuff. Like, I've actually been thinking about doing that with Netflix because, like, I don't know, I just like I'm never on there. That's like my least used app now. And same with like, I don't know, same with like Disney Plus. I like barely use that anymore, and I'm just
that one was like when I thought about it, I was like, there's like I just like don't care for much of this shit. Like I'm not gonna go back and watch the classics, you know what I mean? Like until I have kids or something, maybe like that kind of stuff.
I think they're pushing that to just be a kids platform, which I guess that's a good idea, but there's not a lot of like long-term growth there, I'd say. But
they own Hulu now, don't they? Actually,
they're talking about selling Hulu.
Because
and Lucasfilms, right?
Oh, really? I didn't hear that one.
I thought that was a thing that they brought up. I could be wrong.
That could be a good thing, though.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm.
That good.
Oh, yes.
I don't see them doing that. If they've built so much Star Wars branding in now that they couldn't let their hands off that.
It's so big.
I mean, they just announced a shit ton of
parks built for shit.
They just announced a shit ton of stuff too. If you want to talk about that, I mean.
Yeah, we can go right into that. I was just curious. Yeah, thanks for.
I'm with them. HBO is my favorite, but I mean, I'm subscribed to you name it. I mean, but we share like with the family, so like I'm just like we pass around subscriptions, but I mean, it's just nice to have though. Like doing these director's dives, and when we were doing the movie chest, it was fun to just go on IMDb, type in the movie, and it tells you where it's streaming. So it was just nice to have like, oh, I am subscribed to that, so I don't have to like make an account and do all, and then worry about canceling it. The only one that fucked me over was AMC Plus.
Dude, I was just gonna say it's like
I like $100.
Ooh, that's some bullshit.
Wow.
Yeah, they just took out the whole year instead of a month. When it was like after the trial, they just
that is the
subscribe me to a year.
Dude, and there's nothing on there. There's like nothing on. Like all of their good shows are not even on there. So like, what the fuck? Who even uses AMC Plus?
Like, commissioned this shit.
I used it for Better Call Saul season 6, and that was it.
That was it.
And then they
like when I was watching it
off of it,
it's not even on there. Yeah,
it's stupid.
None of Better Call Saul is on there right now. I'm pretty sure
it's on Netflix.
None of the show or Breaking Bad.
14th.
Yeah, they're both on
Netflix. Hey, there's one for Netflix. They got the Breaking Bad.
Too bad I already fucking had to buy it.
They're gonna win. So they get you, man. No, because cool. Because
I will say, like, for Paul Thomas Anderson's movies in general, for our drive here, he has one on like every service. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
like, Kubrick, there was a lot on HBO and stuff like that, or a couple here, a couple there. I was like, how did this man make his deals? Because he has one on literally every service. It seems like
sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
But going off to Disney, I don't have Disney Plus. That's one of the only like streaming services I don't subscribe to.
He's the only one with a child too. He doesn't have Disney Plus. Wow.
I go to Disc Replay and I get the old Disney movies for him. Like that, we have a bunch of because they have they're like buy 7 get 7 free. So I just go in and
shit. Yeah.
And, they're like $3 a piece. So you buy 7 for $3. I mean, $21 and you get 14 movies. Fuck.
Yeah. You want that whole
slap my ass.
You want the discs to bring with, on all those trips and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and I like collecting things, so I love having my Blu-rays and DVDs, so I have no problem going to Disc Replay and buying stuff.
For sure.
Sarah, on the other hand, she doesn't really appreciate it, but, she thinks it's like clutter, but she doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. I got this massive shelf behind me of shit right here.
Right? Yeah, that's when we move and I'm gonna get my office. I'm gonna line the walls, get shelves. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe hanging some comics in here. I got those cases I could throw in that space. Be nice.
Hell yeah.
Display some shit.
Yeah, on the Disney topic though, we can I just want to touch on this real quick. Who do you think this Jonathan Majors? We don't got to get in the weeds. Who do you think they're gonna recast?
Will Smith? No.
Oh, is that like for sure that they are like recasting him?
It was a rumor.
Because I saw that like last week, I guess.
Yeah.
But
it'd be tough to continue with him, I'd say, if I was Disney. But in general, just even I don't know that whole situation. I would just wash my hands of it. But that's just me.
The thing I read was that they're going to use the new Loki season to like get the one from a different universe. So
whoopsies, it's a different.
Yeah.
I mean, they teased like all the Ultimate Kings being Jonathan Majors though at the end of Quantumania, so they shot themselves in the foot. But I say like I was never that excited about King, so you don't have to do him.
That's what Jonathan Majors, in my
You can
opinion, was
pivot.
never a good actor, but that's just me.
Straight up.
Seriously, now is the time to just throw in Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Fucking
yes.
go
Like
Battle
do
World,
actual
man.
Secret Wars.
They have
Yeah,
the
like
Fantastic Four coming. This is the. I mean, I don't know. They're probably just
Fuck,
constantly having meetings about like creative and like what's the future? What's the goal? What is this
There's
guy
just
need?
a corner of like
Yeah.
whiteboards and chalkboards and like of like storyboards just piled up that they've tossed
Kevin
and thrown away.
Feige just like sitting there like looking at. He just like circles. He has like a circular chair and he just rotates around all the whiteboards.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
I mean, like realistically though, like yeah,
Shit
they have the
screen
Fantastic
everywhere.
Four movie coming up, and like also they like I don't know, there was like some Easter egg for this dude named Molecule Man in the first season of Loki, who's like
Yeah.
a big part of it too. It's him,
Yeah.
Doctor Doom, and then like Doctor Strange has already like done his shit in the second Doctor Strange movie with like going through universes. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, like I feel like I don't know. You'd have to like cancel all of your plans going forward, but like I feel like you could do it. Like,
Well, how many
Yeah.
movies did Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors have signed up for? Do
dude,
you
I don't
know?
know.
It had to have been a lot, right? I mean,
Dude, I bet it's like
for
every
this
one.
phase.
Like,
It's
because
at
I bet
least
like
3 or 4, probably.
every Marvel movie's gonna have a king as the villain or some shit. Almost
Yeah.
everyone, I would assume. You know, I mean,
It's so
Yeah.
boring,
Yeah.
man. Honestly, like I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah.
good in the comics. I haven't read any of them. So, have you read any King, Joe?
I'm
At
not.
all, or Noah? Or yeah.
I mean, like I've seen him, but like never as like the actual villain.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know. I've
Yeah.
seen him. I've read. They came out with this Doctor Doom series. It was like a 12-issue series, like a couple years ago, and he just like King just randomly shows up because he's supposed to be like a descendant of Doctor Doom, and also maybe Reed Richards. So he just kind of like shows up randomly. I don't know. They're just like I don't know. It's weird.
Oh,
so they
Reed
just
and
have like these
Doom,
weird
huh?
conversations.
Wait a minute.
So I don't know.
Hold up.
That's
How
really
does
the
that
only
work?
time I've seen him. So
Marvel science, you know.
Oh, okay.
Some genetic.
Gotcha.
yeah. Dude, and shit, like I don't know. I've read like a lot of Marvel comic events, and like King's not in like any of them that I've seen. I mean, like yeah,
Yeah.
he's in probably some fucking comic events, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I don't know.
He's not. He's like not. Yeah. He's pretty obscure. I feel like as far as Marvel lore goes, or like integral. Like big
Yeah.
scale Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
He must
I
have
think
had
he
like a
probably
huge arc or something. You know, King the
Yeah, I
Conqueror. He
think-
must have like had
I-
one big showy one or something.
Mhm.
I think he was just like I think he probably started out as just like a Fantastic Four villain because like I don't
Yeah.
know, they do a lot of like multiverse time travel bullshit.
I can see
So
that.
Yeah.
But on the
I didn't
flip
know that.
side of Disney's coin,
I saw that James Gunn is like. It was like there could be a DC Marvel crossover in the future now that I'm at the helm.
I think
Is that what
guy's
did he
just
start
saying
his-
shit now.
Yeah, that's
Did
what
he
I'm
start
saying.
with that?
He's got
Did
like
he start
a,
with
like,
the-
he's
Yeah,
gaslighting
that's
everybody.
exactly how
Like,
James Gunn
yeah.
sounds. Every interview he starts. Now, just when he became the head of DC, though, now he walks into every room. He's like, "I'm James Gunn."
Guess who's here? Yeah.
But there's like a new interview with him every day. I feel like I see. So I think people just keep asking him questions, and he just keeps saying things.
I
and
feel like
then-
he's just baiting. Yeah, I feel like he's
Yeah.
baiting now. But it just got me thinking because I have those comics and those are fucking cool
Oh,
as shit.
I predicted.
And they tease. I'm pretty sure they tease the Living Tribunal, which is like the big fucking.
oh yeah,
you know,
in the
omnipotent
Thor
fucking-
movie, I think.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. And the new
I
one.
predicted like 10 years from now when like DC's had its good run and Marvel's like now it's scraped everything. They're gonna make a deal of some sort.
They're gonna crawl over to DC, be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, our machine
So-
broke.
Our
Can you help
machine
fix it?"
broke.
Yeah.
So we've done 5 Tony Starks. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Any pointers? I mean,
We finally did the Tom Cruise Tony Stark.
Yeah.
We did it. So now can we bring them all to everything?
Yeah.
Everything? Yeah, it's
You
gonna
guys can get
happen.
Henry Cavill back, right? Yeah. It'd be cool to see. It honestly,
Old
like
man Superman
it would
at
be
that
like the one thing that like would like I maybe as like hype as like Endgame level. You know, for me, it'd be like the one thing. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like again, like if Marvel did some of this other stuff right, like Secret Universe, that could be like just as cool. But
could
I
be.
think it's gonna be. I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna be all that. So, but yeah, I'm excited for DC. I have hope for DC now.
Same.
I'm excited for
James Gunn's the man. I don't know. I mean, he's the guy to do it. I'd say personally.
Yeah, boys.
Speaking
got
of
the juice.
Yeah, he's just like James Mangold. I don't know. We can talk some Star Wars Disney shit that they announced, a lot of stuff like that. But he's apparently doing Swamp Thing too. I had no idea. But Swamp Thing is like one of their premier projects for DC. This unveiling, and if it's in James Mangold's hands, that's even better for me. Like there seem to be like accruing good talent now for DC, and that's exactly what I want to see personally.
Whoa. You coming down on Zack Snyder here?
Dude, I'm so glad that man has not given the keys to anything anymore. Like, just keep like pushing him over into his like Army of the Dead, whatever this moon crazy shit is. Like, sure, but just buddy, play with the toys, Zach. Like,
give me more slow motion.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never a fan, but
he's doing Indiana Jones too, right, Mangold?
Yeah, he did Logan. I'm pretty sure.
You know, like with Zack Snyder, that was good as fuck. Did you guys hear that like Netflix may like buy the Snyderverse somehow or something? Like there might be like some deal with DC where Netflix will continue the Snyderverse. Like, did you hear anything about this?
There's some like Succession level deals going on in the
I don't know, dude. Like, I fucking hope it doesn't happen because god damn, like just let it end. Like they weren't good, like at all. Like
put it to rest, let it die.
There's a certain chunk of the population though, man, that's everything to them. So like, I don't know if you can just tap into them.
I get it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Are you guys excited about the new indie? How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. What? Kind of, bro, you should watch them. They're good, man.
Wait, you haven't seen any of them?
Check them out.
Ooh.
I mean, the first three, they're classics, but you know, the one with Shia, I don't know.
Listen,
maybe skip that one.
I'm a stark defender of that.
It's not terrible.
I enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
The story I think is cool. I don't know. It gets pretty wild at the end, but I don't hold that.
Isn't there like aliens or something?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
They're like ancient civilization,
interdimensional beings. Actually, yeah. Gosh, you guys even watched the movie?
Point of fact. Yeah. What's his name? Ox.
This one seems like they're like doing they tried to do the legacy one with that last one, but they're like revamping the legacy one now for this last hurrah for indie.
Where's the hat going? Where's the hat going?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Because like at the end of the fourth one, the hat just like rolls over to Shia, and you're just like, oh shit, is he taking it on? Like
he picked it up. He's gonna.
So I'm like wondering like how they'll write him out. Because I
rolled past Shia. Fucking
right.
He's like chasing the.
Will they even mention he exists in this
the
one?
Nazis got him.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I mean, it looks like he has a daughter of some sort or something in the trailers that I've seen, or his little sidekick.
Like Indiana Jones?
That's what it looked like. Or like it's Phoebe.
And how many times can you just reveal that he has kids he doesn't know about? Like,
did you watch the Indiana Jones movies, man? Look at that.
I mean, traveling around the world.
Around the world.
Traveling, tasting local flavors.
I guess that's true. But still, like, I don't know. Can you use the same trope twice for two, basically, not necessarily reboots, but like, there's a decent amount of time in between both of these.
Disney. Yeah. Of course they can use the same trope.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Just dump the money on it, man. Just dump the money.
I know what you mean though, because that's where my excitement's kind of like wavering. Is like it feels like we already did this one kind of with the last one. Yeah, so it's like you better make it special somehow. You know.
Also, Harrison Ford's like what 87, and this is a 2.5 hour long movie. What's he gonna do?
They just casted him in like the new Captain America movie too.
I saw that too. Yeah,
like
getting them all out of the way, man.
It's gonna be old man America.
He's old as fuck. Like, let me look it up.
Old as fuck.
There's gonna be like some. I mean, in the trailers, it looks like some CGI mumbo jumbo. You know, he's not gonna be throwing all the punches, but there'll be sound effects for the punches. So will they land?
Oh, he's only 80, I guess.
Okay.
He's still decent. But I mean, like he's gonna have to hand it off. I mean, in the last one, they were in like the 50s, I want to say, or something like that. And I don't know where they're at in this one, 60s or 70s or something. But
modern day.
Yeah, right. 2020.
Dude, he drank from the Holy Grail. He can't die.
Hey, you write that into the lore.
I think he actually
like Harrison Ford forever now.
I think he like couldn't leave that place
Yeah,
that it was at.
It definitely. Yeah, he just like had to stay there. That's why the night was there. Whatever. God, you should watch those movies though. That one's my favorite. The Last Crusade.
That one's good.
I know my buddy really likes them. I just haven't taken the time to check them out. He got them for me. I have them up there. I just haven't put them in to watch.
Watch it before the new one comes out at least, so then you can like go see it. You know.
Yeah.
It might be worth it.
Dude, apparently, like in the timeline, even though Temple of Doom is like the second movie, apparently that one takes place like first.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Really?
It kind of makes sense, I guess.
I didn't know that for a while, but
so,
yeah,
like,
it kind of does make sense. Yeah.
That one's okay. I mean, it's still fun.
Yeah,
but
I like that one.
Yeah, did you guys hear about
Monkey
the Daisy Ridley's new, I guess, trilogy or something?
Fucking stupid, dude.
I don't know.
Do you think that's a good idea? I don't know, man. I mean, like, look, episode 9 was not great, but how they ended it, she was supposed to be like all of the Sith and all of the Jedi. So, like, in the yellow lightsaber, I just equated that to she's like neutral. So, like, why the fuck would she be starting a Jedi Academy? Like, I feel like that's like rewriting shit again. Like, I don't
Luke
know, just
did
stupid.
that.
Like, yeah, and Luke did the exact same thing.
Disney,
like,
right?
Yeah, welcome to Disney, I think.
How many times we got to do this?
Right. No, I mean, on the one hand, like with the Mandalorian, they're like treading into the new trilogy.
Oh
soon.
yeah.
So like, I think they're probably at a point where they're like, we need to kind of fix what we just fucked up the last 5 years, you know, with the new movies. And
so like
maybe this can help, but in my opinion, if it's got this Disney chic now that all the Star Wars movies have, it's not going to be good.
What the fuck does chic mean? Sorry.
Something I actually read something recently that so like in the Rebels like animated Star Wars show, there's this thing that happens in like the 3rd or 4th season where like he goes in, like there's this place on this planet that's like really force sensitive or something, and he can like basically use it to time travel. I don't remember what the name of it is called, but like the Ahsoka show is basically like a direct like sequel to that show. So like I think that there might be time travel bullshit in the Ahsoka show, which will like link all of that timeline shit that they were talking about, like that they just released. So like I hope that's not the case. Like I don't know, that's really gonna like, or at least for me, I don't know.
No, that's pretty. I
don't really have any interest in the Ahsoka show either, though. But I didn't watch the Clone Wars, but that like the Mandalorian is
the only reason I do
because I don't care about any of those like new characters that they keep trying to force in. But
yeah.
I
don't know. The Rebels show was
trailer,
good,
didn't they, for the new Ahsoka show? Or
I think so. Yeah.
Does it look good? Did anybody watch it? I don't know.
I did. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's people with red lightsabers.
But the James Mangold one, I read into it a little bit. Apparently, it's supposed to be like the first Jedi, the first person who like found out about the Force.
Oh,
okay.
So like,
I did read that.
I'd be more on board for that kind of story. But again, if it's got the Disney sheen, that's the one I was looking for. There we go. If it's got that on it,
comic.
Still,
actually, I was staying in some wood this last weekend, and I was putting on that vinyl. That's what it made me think of, just that extra layer of bullshit on top, like
extra layer of bullshit.
Yeah,
that's Disney's catchphrase, I think.
Yeah,
but other than that, any other comments on Disney or all their endeavors nowadays?
No, they got
many endeavors.
Yeah, they got a lot.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, the Vision show, the Star Wars Vision show, is apparently coming out next month.
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
I'll
watch that.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear
why
that?
Don't they try something new though? Like, why don't they just make something original? I don't know. I mean, just at least try. Why are they? I don't know. All these fucking franchises are just.
I feel like someone at Disney just needs to I don't know. I haven't seen much Kurosawa, but go back and just watch some Kurosawa films and be like, let's do this, but in Star Wars, and it'll be totally badass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just go back to old samurai space western type shit.
Oh yeah.
Even design wise, give me some fucking Jedi that's designed almost
wearing a cowboy hat,
cyber samurai, or cyber cowboy man. I just fuck it, dude. And if we're having multiple Force users and muddling dark and light. Like, let there be people who like kill Jedi and take their lightsabers and like use blasters and thermal detonators and are just like fucking badasses. Like, yeah, like give me those flawed, fucked up people in this universe. But
they're so scared, or are they scared that they're gonna fall on their face if they try something original? I mean, they've been doing it for how long with Star Wars now since they purchased it?
I think it's just a safe bet, dude.
It's
like,
true.
It's just when you invest $100 million in, and you have to like pitch that to somebody, like people are just
boring.
well, yeah, it's just like a business though. Like at the top,
yeah,
and they'll be like, well, who's gonna go see this? Does somebody know this? Who's this for? Star Wars. Oh, yeah, somebody's gonna watch that. Like, it's just they know that they're gonna get a bare minimum return on it. You know, like at least.
Yeah, that's my problem with it though. Because at some point wouldn't you be like, okay, we know we're gonna at least hit this if we do it, you know, the shit way, the way we've been doing it. Should we gamble on this one, guys? Like, should we like try and roll high and like, you know, at the very least, if people hate it, then it's controversial and people go back and see it more, you know, or that kind of thing. It's like, wouldn't you gamble on like making a better product so that in case it does work out? I don't know. I don't see like a lose-lose if you're Disney, like a fucking $1 billion conglomerate company.
Where
like,
they really misstepped was, I mean, one with like not trusting like the take of Rian Johnson at all. I think like they really fumbled 9, obviously. But with Solo, they had that with Chris Miller or Phil Lord and Chris Miller. That could have been such a special Star Wars movie with such a different taste and take. And they had Donald Glover. They knew who they had in that movie. And if you watch that movie, it feels like a generic fucking Star Wars movie because they fired them and brought in Ron Howard. And like, that's where they fucked up, because now everything feels terrible and the same, and you can't make anything different now because it's like, well, it has to be kind of Star Wars, right? You know, like, and that's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I actually kind of enjoyed Solo. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, but of the new movies, I mean, like,
there were parts I liked.
I think
that's like the only Star Wars I got out of, and I was like, that was okay. The other one I left, and I was like, this is bad.
I do have to say though, I mean, I like what Rian Johnson was doing with Luke's story, but dude, Episode 8 has a lot of problems. I mean, dude.
It does, but I think it's.
I mean, they all do, but
those 3 are all pretty fucking rough around the edges.
Yeah, I mean, there was no planning involved. That's the problem. They were like it's like they watched the cut that Rian Johnson made, like he filmed it for a full year, and then like the Disney executives sat down and were like, "Wait a minute, you did that? Like, we had no idea. Like, you were doing this. Like, you should have known what was happening. You were supposed
to check on this guy.
I was watching that guy. It's like you should have known like where you were going, at least kind of. But
yeah,
I totally agree. And you know, it's kind of crazy because like at that point, Disney owned them, and like they had this whole plan for all of their Marvel shit. Why didn't they do that? The 3 Star Wars movies. You can't make a plan for 3 movies, but you can make a plan for like a shit ton of Marvel movies. Like, what the fuck?
Decades in it.
I don't know.
That's why some of these projects they just announced. I'm like, well, we'll see if that one. The Daisy Ridley one. Well, maybe we'll see if that. Gets made,
I don't mind Daisy Ridley. I think.
Yeah, I guess let's see if that even gets made.
Because they already canned a bunch of them. Like Rogue.
I feel like 50% of the new Star Wars shit I hear about gets canceled. Like, doesn't even do like nothing comes of it. Right. So like, I don't know.
Rian Johnson's supposed to make 3 more movies. Do you ever think that's gonna happen?
Where them at?
I don't even know if that's still a thing, because that was like years ago when I heard that. You know, like I don't even know if those are still like on the table.
Some of them are off. I'm not sure which ones are still on. But
I wouldn't
Rian
mind.
Johnson, Taika Waititi, Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
Where they at? Yeah,
Patty Jenkins is.
I think Patty Jenkins got shelved. Yeah.
And another one did too, but I think Waititi's is still on the table. Maybe Johnson's, but
I don't know.
I think Waititi, his excuse for not saying much is they said that he's laying low. They want to respect him as an artist or whatever. Is what I read. So it's like, okay.
Let that guy get his hands on Star Wars IP now.
He's got his head so far up his ass.
I like Taika, but like I don't think. I mean, with what I'm picturing him making a Star Wars movie, I don't think I'm gonna like it. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, he's a fine character in Mandalorian. You don't have to give him. Don't make that character. Right. Don't make him like make another character there in Star Wars. But
especially after
he probably would, dude.
I'm surprised they gave him this power of like, hey, you did, you made that movie, right? Let's do a Star Wars trilogy. Like, did they watch it? I mean, I didn't, but I'm not going to. But
I'm excited for his next one. It comes out this year, actually. It's called Next Goal Wins. I'm kind of hoping he goes back to like it's like about soccer or some shit. So I'm hoping
Count me in.
yeah, it's like I'm hoping he can maybe go back to some roots of just comedy and a good movie of like
Michael Fassbender, Will Arnett.
Yeah, seems
Will
fun.
Arnett, okay.
So.
Let's go.
Come on, Taika. You have the juice. Don't fucking drink it so much. Like,
yeah.
Oh, he's sipping on it.
Boy's getting tipsy, sipping on that lean. Yeah.
Anyways, though, I don't want to keep talking about Disney.
Yeah.
Only other note I have before we start.
Still with Taika, did you watch the latest season of? It came out a while ago, but did you watch the latest season of What We Do in the Shadows?
I did. Yeah.
What did you think, Matt?
I mean, I still think that's one of the best standard sitcom shows on TV. The last season, I don't think it's kind of like. I don't know. It wasn't the most enjoyable season just because they set up the premise of the baby, energy vampire, which at the end of that season was a super big premise that you're really wanting to see, and they it just doesn't when he's on the stage dancing and shit. I'm just like, why are we doing this? This is kind of dumb. And there's so much better avenues, but it's still one of the best comedy shows on TV, I'd say. What do you think though?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I don't know, just coming off the third season into the fourth season, I just feel like they just either didn't put them as much work into it, or I don't know, because even some episodes, just the writing for it just doesn't make sense. Because I remember there was one episode where they're they're trying to get Colin Robinson into some school or something like that, so they keep using their vampire mind control thing on the guys, but they can just control people. They can tell people to do whatever they want. So why didn't they just tell him that? Why didn't they just make him do something? I don't know. So the whole episode, the premise doesn't make sense because it just do a different, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Sure. There's tropey writing though, because when I think of when I say sitcom writing, I think back to I Love Lucy, where it's everything in those episodes could be solved if you just said the thing to the husband that you needed to say, type of storytelling. Yeah. So it's semi convoluted every episode to get the story going, and then it just closes out or whatever. But I get what you mean. Yeah, I mean that world is so weird too that you have to abide to some of the laws that they've set too. So if you guys haven't watched that show, it's a great show though.
I don't know if I've seen the newest season, but I think I've seen up to season 3.
That's good. Yeah. I wouldn't keep it going for too much longer, but because I think you just when we get to Succession here, I think shows just shouldn't go past season 5. I think nowadays, that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
True.
But speaking of long run times, I just have one more bit before we get into Ted Lasso and Succession. Scorsese's new movie, it's coming out at the end of the year, I think, and it's rumored to be over 4 hours or at least 4 hours of runtime. So I haven't seen The Irishman. I know that was a 3.5, and I was already kind of being like, "Come on, Martin, what the fuck?"
Oh, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, that man's having a renaissance.
All right, yeah.
But I was just kind of curious where you guys stand on that movie or Scorsese's 4-hour movie or a 4-hour movie.
They come with an intermission because
I'm pretty.
It should.
I'm
pretty pumped. I'm gonna warm up this week. On Thursday, I'm gonna see The Return of the King Synod Edition, and that's 4 hours and 11 minutes sitting in the theater. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
Them are worth it. Yeah.
But take that when you're gonna take your bathroom break.
If the movie is good, I don't mind a long movie. I mean, it's the ones that are poorly paced or just bad writing that are just. But it's Scorsese. It's going to be interesting for 4 hours. You gotta have faith in him. I mean, look at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? I mean, that was kind of it's not quite 3 hours, but it's 2:45. And I saw that 5 times in theaters. I watched it every night after I got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just feel there's a pretty big difference between a 3-hour movie. You're ooh, that's shit. Endgame 3 hour. Oh fuck yeah. But it's something you can sit through.
Matt, did you know this is based on a book?
Other hour, I did. Yeah, a whole nother hour though. Damn, that's a lot to ask. I'd say
sometimes you need that hour though. For example, look at Hard 8. That was a 2.5 hour cut, his original cut, and they cut it down to an hour and a half. It could have been so much better.
but it could be so much worse too. I feel like, right? I mean,
but I feel like it's PTA for one. I don't think it could be worse. I think it could. He's got the sky's the limit.
I guess like my only like fear is that like Martin Scorsese cut 2 to 3 hour movies for his entire career, and now at the end of his career he decides like his movies need to be 4 hours. I just question like why he's deciding these things now. I don't know. I just wonder like if it's worth it or not. I still haven't seen The Irishman though, and I should. So
it's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't feel like 3 hours personally.
I'm sure, right?
I mean, it's like The Wolf of Wall Street. That's 3 hours. That doesn't feel like 3 hours, but that one's kind of crazy. That's like standalone just because of how wild it is. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
this one it doesn't seem like it's going to be a wild ride though. It seems like it's going to be kind of a darker,
slow burn.
Yeah, which I'm down for. I want to see something different from him.
Yeah,
and I like the cast looks amazing, so I'm definitely going to go see it. I just think like I might enjoy it more on my couch for this one personally. I don't know. If I go to the movie and sit for 4 hours, I'm just worried I'm gonna get like I'm gonna question why he did it. You know, like I don't know. I just wonder.
That's an interesting thing. Do you ever, when you're watching a movie and say it's like a shorter movie, do you ever just sit there and like it's coming close to an end and you're like, man, I wish I could just stay here longer?
Yeah.
In a movie?
Yeah. A well-paced movie will always leave me wanting more, I'd say. Or like a well-executed, like timed, like if you've trimmed all the fat, if you've gotten all the shit out, like it's like I want more. You know, you got me in it. Like when I left There Will Be Blood, I could have sat for a full other hour. You know, like, and it's a good feeling. I'm worried I won't have that feeling with Scorsese at the end. Here.
Interesting. Like, yeah. No, I mean, I mean, I get it. Like for me, Wakanda Forever was one of those movies where I was like feeling the runtime. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some long movies that I can't. I feel it, but it's the pacing, it's the direction, it's the story. I mean, it all plays a part, obviously. I mean, that's clear. But it's just
Scorsese. I'll give it to the man. He deserves it. You know.
Yeah.
It's in the right hands. So that's the only reason I'm like, this is gonna be good. Like if Tarantino came out and said he was making a 5-hour movie, I mean, look at the extended edition of Hateful Eight. Fuck. I mean,
I would be down for that more. Strangely, so yeah, I don't know.
It's just I don't know. In the right hands, I think we're in good hands. You know, it just depends. If it was a Disney movie that was 4 hours long, I would be like, first off, I don't think you have the creative balls to do that. But so
or the server space for how much CGI is packed in.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be like 2 hours of just like CGI bullshit. Like
Yeah, but I'm excited for it. I like me a long movie. I mean, David Fincher's Killer's coming out, and that's going to be about 3+. So
that too, I'm excited for that one too, for sure.
He's good. Yeah.
Again, it's David Fincher, so you know it's got to be. I don't know. It's got to be worth it.
I mean, shit. Yeah, Wes Anderson did that. I'd be like, Wes at 3 hours or Wes Anderson, like that's gonna be fun. Like, right? Yeah, like, you know, that's gonna be a fun 3 hours probably. Like,
you just gotta have your stamp. I mean, one more example. Damien Chazelle with Babylon. I know you didn't like it as much as I did, but that was a fucking blast for me.
It was a good movie. So, I didn't hate it. So I
see that still.
Yeah. I didn't think that one was like overly terribly paced for a 3-hour movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think that one was. It kind of deserved it 3 hours, I'd say, but I just.
Well, I mean, it didn't cut to credits until what, 40 minutes in the fucking party. It was just
That bonkers fucking editing at the end though too got me a little bit, but.
Bottom line, if it's in the right hands, I think we have nothing to worry about. If it was in the hands of, say, I don't know, I can't think of anybody right now. So
you've swayed me though. I'll give him his due. Hopefully, I think it's going on to a streaming service, so I'm hoping they do like a run in theaters with it.
I hope so. I don't know. I feel more compelled to go to the theater to see the movies rather than, scroll through Netflix to find the movie and then turn it on.
Yeah. And I mean, I enjoyed Glass Onion like 10 times more when I saw it in the theaters too than watching it at home. So you should be able to see some of these big name directors getting their visions onto the screen, in my opinion.
For sure.
All right, you guys want to talk some Ted Lasso first, or what? Succession?
Guys, can I just... This is my moment to brag, because did I just not call both of these fucking... Like, call the... I feel like I'm, like, clairvoyant for the trajectory of both of these shows.
Which one did you call?
No?
For Ted Lasso?
First, I called Ted. I called Keely getting back into Jamie. You know, she had that little bit of like, oh, he's learning. You know, she's endeared toward him a little bit, and fucking Logan kicking the bucket.
Yeah, that was
moment of silence. Come on, have some.
I just want to drink this moment in. Yeah, I just want to like, feels good. Feels good. I should be in the writers' room.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
That was good. Yeah, that was good calls. Yeah. I guess we'll just warm up with Ted Lasso. I don't have like much to say on it, but I mean, still enjoying the shit.
I do for Ted Lasso. This episode was the best this season. It felt actually had some heart in it. I don't know if it was just because it just felt more serious and it gave you like more depth to Ted finally, you know, where it kind of like everyone's like, yeah, you are a mess, you know. So that kind of felt nice. Am I thinking the right episodes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, yeah. I like this one more than the last one too.
Yeah, he wakes up with Sassy and she calls him a mess.
Yeah. So I don't know. So this is why I just enjoyed this better. I mean, Roy and Jamie's dynamic, because I think Jamie is like a nice character arc, and he's going through something. I hate Zava though. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm tired.
I do too. And
you were right, Joe, with saying that Zava's gonna get kicked or booted or somehow, and then Jamie's gonna step up and be the key member of the team somehow here. Because
so, like, I think it's possible, but I actually thought the opposite. Because at the end, like when Zava's getting interviewed and he talks about Zero playing or Van Damme playing with passion, and I don't know. I thought that meant he like was in for the ride at that, but I don't know. Maybe he will, because I feel like that's kind of what they were setting up for him to leave, and Jamie would take his place. You know, like I don't know.
I could see them like fleshing him into a full-fledged team member character, which would be like the Ted Lasso thing to do. But I could also see them maybe taking the easier route with like the characters we already know and leaving him off the team. But I don't know. You know, surprised. I'm kind of surprised at how quickly they've burnt through like the season and some story beats here, because there's still like, I want to say like 8 episodes left, or 7 or 6 or something like that.
I think there's 8.
So left. I mean, there's gonna probably be like a rematch down the road, obviously, for these two teams. This is like the first loss, you know. We gotta pick the team up after it, but I don't know. There's some good story stuff with Ted and Nate in this episode too. I liked.
Finally,
yeah, they got to be face to face finally, which we needed, I'd say.
Yeah, I was getting tired of Nate being a little bitch and not really doing anything. He's just kind of like stagnant for, I don't know, a while. It felt like he was just spitting whenever he got mad, and just like, oh, Nate's mad again. What's he gonna do?
He's mad again.
I wonder how they're gonna redeem him.
That scene in the restaurant was
it's pretty awkward.
Yeah, cringe. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oof.
Like with the host, like I don't know. I like how she didn't even remember him, and like she was just like, I'm not into you. Like,
yeah. I wonder how they're gonna like fully redeem Nate in the viewer's eyes. I don't know, because
that's what I was curious about.
Because honestly, like, the hate, the Nate
throw him down an elevator shaft.
Yeah, just dead
as he's shooting lightning, like, you know, the Emperor, like Darth Vader throwing.
Yeah,
I see. It's man, there's Star Wars imagery in this show.
That Rupert, the dark suited man, and
he's gonna have to betray him somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But personally, I was never like on the Nate hate train, because I kind of understand this. He's like, he's always awkward, and he's always been that way, and he kind of just took a negative turn, which I don't think, like, portraying a character like that isn't like inherent to a bad character. You know what I'm saying? It just like is that character's decisions in this chunk of story or life. Like, so I don't know. I'd be fine with like subtle redemption on Nate's part, but I feel like most of the audience of Ted Lasso would be like, Nate's always sucked. He never fucking got better. He's always been this shit, you know, like. And it's like, I get it, but honestly, I kind of feel for him still. So it's like,
I kind of do too. I mean, like the first, I don't know, when the season started, I said I had like rewatched the whole show, and like I mean, I think a lot of the reasons like why he is the way he is because of like his parents. So like,
for sure,
I don't know. I think that they will give him some depth later in this season, and I think they will have some kind of redemption for him. Like, I don't know, because like I think realistically, I think like he just has to work through his shit with his parents and just grow into like the person he's actually supposed to be. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not there yet, or clearly, right? So I mean, by the end of the show, you'd hope that they would leave him there. So for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, but what you were Noah, what you were saying about Keely being into Jamie, like I do know what you're talking about, but like, is she into like her boss too? Like, were you picking that up?
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Jack?
I
Is
don't
that what you're
know.
talking? Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jack.
Jack.
yeah, I
Yeah. I
don't know.
mean,
What else
I
did I
don't
have
know.
written
I
down
feel like
here?
Keely is just like it. I don't know. She's into
Free
power now,
spirit.
right? Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I
Yeah.
mean, to me, like most of her story rests in like business Keely this season. It seems like where she's got to make harder decisions or kind of fit her
Yeah.
personality into like boss mode. So I'm curious because like with her, I didn't really catch like romantic vibes. I kind of caught more like
That they're
she's
friends.
like eyeing her as like you gonna be able to make all these decisions type of vibe. You know, like that's kind of
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I was more like Keely trying to like you said, just show that she has the chops. But I mean, at every turn, it was just like, everything was getting fucked up around her, and it was just kind of
team's
like looking bad.
terrible. Fucking yeah,
Right. Her friend is a,
Dumbass.
Yeah.
She switched
Yeah.
the
Kind of fucked up
tag
her
or
app.
whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
It still
But,
stands.
yeah,
I need to
that's-
get rid of that character soon, and maybe that's
Yeah.
hopefully with
Mhm.
Keely we'll just like sever ties. I would think or something, but we'll see.
So that's the vibes I was getting. I'm with Matt on the vibes. I did not get attraction vibes. I got
Okay.
sheer
She's
just like
got-
maybe kind of intimidated, kind of like wanting to prove herself, prove her worth. So
Mhm. She's
Yeah,
got
I can
enough
see that.
romantic avenues, I'd say, at the moment.
Yeah, right? And then like the only other thing I really had was like, dude, how shitty is it that like Ted's fucking marriage like therapist, like counselor, like is dating his ex-wife now? I don't
Dude.
know. That's like
Yeah.
super shitty.
I wrote like, am I the only one that's like thinks that Ted's wife is like completely in the wrong in this whole show? Like, I understand like the
I don't think
divorce, like
so.
growing apart or whatever, and like you maybe fall out of love and whatever, but the marriage counselor, man, that's like a step too fucking far, man, and just straight up unethical
Right.
and like straight up
Mhm.
dick move because you don't tell Ted, and it's like, what is the history here? And that
Yeah.
you leave Ted like with us, like he doesn't know, and he's like, it's just shitty as fuck. And every
So
time
shitty.
Ted is like calling to
Yeah.
apologize, and she's just like, okay, we got away clean out of that one, and now I feel better.
Dude,
it's like,
I was
that
just
bothered the
give
fuck out of
Ted
me.
some goddamn
Yeah.
respect, dude. That
like
man
he's
is a
like pouring out his
saint.
heart here. All she said was "of course," and then hung up the phone. Like I'm like, what the
And
fuck? And
the
then
episode
they
ends
show
on
like a
her.
flash to her.
You're
I know.
smiling.
I'm like, dude, like is she into him? Like what the fuck? Like what is this?
I don't know,
That rubbed me the wrong way. It's like they didn't know what to do with her or like how to
Yeah.
respond to Ted because I mean her character really doesn't have much to her, I guess.
we see it all from Ted's side mostly. I mean, so
Right.
maybe we don't know all of it, obviously, but like
Have her say something. Like he just like was like doing his shindig, pouring his heart out, and then she was just like, "Okay."
Yeah,
I was
like
like, did
what
he
the
cut
fuck?
out? I mean, what?
thanks
you hear
for
what he said?
approving again of just me living my life whatever fucking way I want, you know, like you're a great guy, Ted. I'm gonna go cry and then
irritated
get
the
over
piss
it,
out
and
of me.
then I don't know. I like to see like that not reciprocated from Ted's side. The whole show, I feel like too, it's just never really been like he's never
Yeah.
gotten the respect he deserves, and I hope it's like kind of comes around for the wife character, but I don't know if it ever
Yeah.
will. I don't know.
Watch.
I don't
watch
think so
it.
either. Like
Yeah,
with that little like smirk that she had like at the end of the episode, like I feel like that's like her showing that she has like she still has feelings for Ted or something. Like
Hmm.
I don't know.
That's what
But,
I thought too, but it has it holds nothing because she's just a flat character that just was just like,
Yeah.
of course.
At this
and
point,
that
I
was it.
don't want Ted to like
Yeah.
love her anymore.
I don't
Like,
either, but I feel like a direction that the show might be going in is where like he'll not be the coach after this season and he'll go back to like America and get back with her and like, you know,
Yeah.
they'll just
Yeah.
be a one big happy family again, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope it's not that way. I hope that he stays there and, I'm not necessarily stays with the football team, but I really want him and, can't think of her name, his boss to work out, They're
Rebecca?
yeah, they're perfect for each
I'm
other.
still pulling for it. I don't know if it'll
Yeah.
happen, but
You know, with the like the Scheitenlining armor thing.
the knight and shine.
that-
Yeah,
Oh,
straighten
yeah.
that out.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, I feel like that might.
Come around
Be-
for Ted.
Yeah.
I would say
And,
so
I mean-
too. But
Be cool.
She's like, I don't know, when Ted was like, am I a mess? And she was like, yeah, it's, that's why we get along or whatever she said. And it was just
Mhm.
like, See, just I don't know. These guys make sense. Him and his wife getting back together doesn't make any goddamn sense, and that would be bullshit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a dumping of toxic relationships. Like Beard's gonna dump Jane.
Yeah,
Ted's gonna
hopefully.
move on and get with Rebecca. Keely's gonna figure her shit out.
Everybody's gonna end happy at the end of the
Yeah,
show. That's
yeah. That's what I'm getting out of this show. If I don't end on an uplifting note on this show, it won't be worth
Rupert
it.
will
Like
stop sleeping with his assistant, and
it won't
make
be
right with
it
his
won't be
wife.
true to the show,
Yeah.
honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be.
Yeah,
that
right.
way, in my
Nah,
opinion.
Rupert's gonna be at the bottom of an elevator shaft.
Joe's
You
gonna
want a
be-
redemption arc for Rupert? You kidding me?
No, I'm just talking the
Oh,
show in
no.
general. It needs to have a happy ending to be true to the show. Like,
Yeah.
or else it like isn't inherent to what the episode stated at the beginning. In my, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like that's what the show's mission statement was from Jump. It
right.
was like
It
we're all
was
about
nice, though,
positive
to-
vibes.
It was nice though that this episode was a little like more dark,
Dramatic.
and more like serious,
Yeah.
dramatic. Yeah,
It was grounded for sure.
It felt super refreshing because, like I said, it's like Ted's always been at like he's dipped down into those realms of having something, other than happy Ted. But I like to see that dynamic side. I like to see what makes Ted tick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
that
high
Gives
man
the
the
character a
nose,
lot
baby.
more enjoyment. But
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Any other
Yeah.
final notes on Ted, or should we move into the feast of
real talk for the night.
Yeah, man. Going into
Yeah.
Succession, so if you don't want to be spoiled, this is it. It's over. But yeah, man, what an episode! Holy shit, was not ready
First-
at all.
I was
I,
not.
Woo! Yeah,
I was
man.
not expecting it.
Yeah.
not this soon. I was yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I gave last episode enough credit. I rewatched it before watching this episode, and that birthday scene with Connor, goddamn, that was good. But yeah, I just wanted to add that part. I don't think I
Yeah.
gave enough credit last week because
I remember
the scene where he's like, "I don't need love,"
Yeah, man.
and I'm
Yeah.
just a tree, dead insects. I'm like, oh my god, poor guy.
That
Like,
whole scene, like
I
retrospectively,
resonated
looking
weirdly
back,
with that though too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, also it's like the last time Logan talks to them, really, or says he loves
Yeah.
you to them. You
which
know,
is so
Yeah.
maybe that's why I liked it better this time because I watched them back to back. But yeah, seeing then Roman call his dad and he's like, were you just being a cunt? And then it's just like that was the last thing his dad could have heard him. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
crazy
Yeah,
episode
This
though.
was a
Heavy stuff,
fantastic
yeah.
episode, man. I mean, even before, because like the first 15 minutes is a whole other episode almost, like,
Yeah.
And the anxiety level was rising in me. Like I was like having a feeling of like
Yeah.
we're about to cross a threshold almost, like
Yeah.
with just the deals they were making, or like you had to finally choose your final side with Roman, kind of, and stuff like that. It's like almost end game moves now. It felt like, and then it just completely fucking left turns it.
Derailed.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, man, they keep you on your toes. I mean, I listened to the podcast with like Jesse Armstrong and stuff like that. And he said he's not like immune to like making it, like engaging or making it like shocking like this. So he knew what he was doing. And most of like the questions arise in my head are like, it's so early in the season, which is cool and shocking and awesome. And it opens up this show as like a whole new kind of show at these last final stretches. Hopefully we have 7 episodes of sustaining material.
Yeah.
That's my only fear, but I'm super excited for like how they fulfilled like the premise of the show, honestly, because like it sets it up in the first episode with Logan's like getting sick, almost dying, stroke. Like this is about the succession of Logan,
Right.
and now we're here, and we get to witness now the end fallout of it all, and it's super exciting, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I felt, and like I mentioned this to Sarah because she kind of like felt the same way I was feeling with the first episode. Like, what more could they do? I mean, they've been teasing the succession, but now they have to do it. Like, it's now or never now because I mean he's fucking dead. So it just gives the show.
But we don't know that.
more
We
life.
don't know he's fucking.
We haven't confirmed
I
yet.
want to see a body. Goddamn
Yeah,
it!
right.
I
The doctor
I
hasn't seen him yet.
Yeah.
it feels like it gave the show the new life to finish out, and that gave me hope to be like,
did, yeah.
okay, this is still one of the better shows playing right now. I mean, it's probably the best show on right now. It's just
Sure.
It's especially like I said. I don't think I feel bad now because I don't think I gave last episode enough credit because they're both very good, and maybe I was just feeling that in the first episode, the wheels spinning. But now moves have to be made, and now it's like they're stepping on the neck, so it's like we got to do something. So
yeah, it all does feel better too because in the first episode, Logan has a scene where he's talking about death with his buddy, his best friend or whatever at the table. You know, like and
you're my pal.
That guy.
Yeah. They gave you like just enough like Logan scenes like there and in the karaoke, you know, just enough for like his final act stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact of like how this whole episode plays out is super like true to life, I'd say also, and like made it it's like a almost the timeline of this episode is like we're with them the whole time, you know, like it doesn't really stop. And it's just like how the communication of like a death that doesn't come at the time, it's like it's not going to come at the time you want. And the way of like the fallout of the communication after that with and the informational fallout too is I don't know. It was just super well done and
to watch.
It like turned from like straight grief to like we're kind of already over it and now we need to like find the next play. They're crafting a statement. We need to like it's like how can I use this death now to kind of personally gain my advantage already, you know, like stuff like and that turn was like you got to witness the whole way and it just made this episode fucking I mean, I don't know, this is a 10 out of 10 episode in my opinion of television, so
no, and like the whole Logan thing, like starting at the end of the last episode, I started to be like, wow, I can see like you're wondering why the kids are upset and why they're crying, but like seeing this kind of softer, and it's not too soft, but kind of softer side of Logan easing into these last couple episodes, it was just kind of like, wow, it is kind of sad that he's gone. All the lives that he's like touched, and I mean they're all assholes, but like because of him they are, you know, sustained if you think about it. So it's just kind of like I don't know, I don't want to maybe he's the bad guy, but I kind of sympathize, you know. But then again, Connor is like when he was like, oh shit, he never really liked me anyways. That I relate to like down to a I feel that.
Then he tries to like justify out of like why he said that too. Like, I mean, I think a big like moments of these episodes are the anticipation you feel when someone's going to break the news to somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
And I think like a big success, kind of what you're saying, like why you can relate to all these people. This is like one of the most like human episodes because it's you literally just see like humans, people who lost their daddy, you know, like and that I mean that just makes you I mean if you have a heart it makes you like relate and care even though these people all suck, even though like they kind of deserve it or have, like it's been a long time coming or whatever, but I don't know, just good shit, man.
Who knew you could empathize with a piece of shit like the fucking Roys?
I mean, it's funny. I mean, we say, you know, how can you they're assholes. It's like that scene with Connor and his fiance's mom where she's like, they're all so young here. Yeah, I heard a lot of them complaining about the rich. Well, they're sure enjoying your champagne. It's like, good point, old lady. Good point.
I did like how the only kind of like bright moment, I guess, out of this is like Connor and Willow finally is like able to accept her relationship now on her wedding day, you know. Like took till the last fucking moment, but actually it seems like they've kind of closed the loop there for their drama. I don't know, and for me at least, but that's good. I don't know, I kind of like that closure there, so
for sure.
It's cool. Like it's weird seeing like Connor's reaction compared to the other three. I don't know, that was intense when the three were on the phone. It felt pretty like loose acting, like, you know. I enjoyed it. I liked kind of how raw it felt. It was cool.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of how it is. You know, you get hit with news like that, like you said, man, unexpected. You know, like no one was anticipating it. It was just kind of like it just feels. I don't know, surreal is the right word, but it's just like, is this actually fucking, you know, happening?
And like
it can't be real, right? It's not real, so it's just
and they're forced to like take it seriously then when they aren't ready to like say their final words or anything at all. Like it's like they have to try to get it going in the moment. I did like how like Kendall basically gets what he needed to say across, where it's like, I love you, I can't forgive you, you know, but it's okay, you know, like that he got it out. Most of them got it out. Shiv obviously was like really sad, basically talking to nobody, but she had to say something, you know, but
Yeah.
And Roman, I think he was a highlight of the episode. Kieran Culkin, man, that man is killing it, and he had so much on his shoulders this episode, emotionally in the beginning, and how it unfolds for him, and just some really good shit, man. All the acting, all the characters got their moments and played it well.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where do you think it goes from here? Because I mean, they still got the deal to go down, and I mean, like, I don't know. You have like, what's gonna happen with the company from this point on?
Who's the successor?
Yeah, right.
Who gets it? Yeah. I don't know. It seems like the kids are still trying to be somewhat of a team. I wonder if the end of this show is like the complete dissolution of a family almost. But
that's
yeah,
what
I'm wondering like if they're gonna stay like together or if they're gonna start like turning on each other,
taking pieces away of the company, like just taking chunks, divvying it up.
And then Greg spears through. I actually don't want Greg to honestly win because
I don't like Greg anymore.
That kind of sucks. Yeah, he's
been assimilated into the ATN crowd. He's kind of
if there was
Tom's
one,
okay.
I was gonna say Tom. If there's one person, I want to see.
Well, as he
felt kind
I'm
of
just
left out.
Wow, is Tom gonna actually be the successor?
Yeah, right. some weird legal shit. Him and Shiv aren't quite separated yet, so there's some shit on paper that works. And
Tom and his Greglets.
Yeah, he's Logan's like right hand man right at the end, so he's got the in there kind of a little bit, so some access. And he's like the ultimate character, I think, of this show, where he's like, I think we said it last week, maybe he's like the outsider, but he's like got enough of the business sense and the ins of the business. So to see him at the end, I think I'd be on board with that personally.
I don't know. He doesn't really have the balls.
Well,
I don't think.
I hope the show ends with somewhat of a happy ending where it's like Tom's at the top. And maybe he's going to shift this company towards like a better tomorrow.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't know. That's too good for this show, I'd say almost. Though,
dude, what if it was all just a ploy and Logan just faked his own death?
That's what I thought when they first made the call. I'm like, he's not dead. Nah.
Massive life insurance policy.
Right. Yeah. I thought he was just trying to guilt shit Roman to going to Sweden, because he wanted him there. So that's why I was like, no way, he's dead. No, but then Tom kept going on and on. I'm like, oh, well, he's actually.
It was smart how they cut that too, where it's like they don't show you Logan at all, and then like finally, like 10 minutes in, they give you one shot of Logan on the ground.
Right? Because like I watched it this afternoon because I was just taking a break from work, and I like walked into my kitchen, and then I walked back real quick, and
Logan's dead.
Tom is like on the phone. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like.
They're doing chest compressions? Or
is
he alive?
Yeah. It's awesome. And like a final note I have is like, this proves to me that they knew that this was the final season, man. Like there was a lot of rumors about like how a deal wasn't made to continue for another season, or like they just cut it without really knowing like that they were like, well, we'll just end it now with the last few episodes. But I mean, this proves to me that the Jesse Armstrong, the creators, knew exactly what they were doing with this final season here. So because it's been, it's planned here clearly. Episode 3,
off to a good start. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Like I said, this whole episode gave a whole new dynamic to where it might be like super refreshing and a poignant end. So
that's what it needed,
Yeah.
And I'm glad it didn't happen like episode 10, episode 9.
Right.
We needed some time, so it's good. It feels good.
Yeah. It's like midway through Better Call Saul, when Hamlin,
yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like crossing that point. Yeah.
I won't say too much, but I mean that's like putting that in that episode. Like they even said on their podcast, no, we didn't know there was going to be a mid-season break on that episode. That's just how we wrote it. And, that's kind of how this feels. It's organic. It's nice.
That episode was just fucking
awesome.
Another top tier 10 out of 10 episode of television for sure.
Talk about high octane. Oh my god. Yeah.
Good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for the rest of this season here. And I'm glad we're having this little podcast here, because if we didn't talk about it, I feel like in this moment, we would have lost like this cool, time together. So.
Yeah, I've been chomping at the bit to talk about it because it was just like, I have new life now for Succession. So it felt good.
Definitely rejuvenating.
Yeah.
But alrighty, should we? I think we only have one more thing on the docket. But Joe,
You want me to drop out here?
yeah, we're gonna be
You
talking
can stick
PTA.
around if you want to hear about PTA, but
Nah, it's cool. I'll drop out. But
it's good
all right,
talking,
sounds
man.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, good talking
we'll
to you
talk
guys.
next week.
Sounds good. See you guys.
later.
dude.
Peace.
It's time. We're back at it, boys. PTA. And we're talking his second to last film, Daniel Day-Lewis's last film before he retired. Is he going to stay retired? Probably. I don't know. He seems pretty set in his ways. He seems like one of those guys who's just fucking serious, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of serious, he plays a serious man in this movie. Phantom Thread. What do you guys think?
Thread, yeah. The first time watch for all of us, right? I believe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of exciting. Fresh PTA eyes over here.
Yep.
And we're at the home stretch, man. This is
it.
This is the last. I mean, we got one more after, but
One more block.
I'm kind of feeling like the senioritis right now with PTA, but I don't know. First taste, I overall really I enjoy this movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite of his. I wouldn't say it's his best. I wouldn't say it's his worst. I'd say pretty good. And it overall, this movie really snuck up on me. I'll kind of just leave it at that. It got sneaky good.
Yeah. I feel that because I was like, I wasn't like really invested, really for the first like 45 minutes or so.
It's a slow first hour.
Yeah, honestly,
it doesn't feel slow, but the story is slow. Like I didn't feel the time, but I didn't feel the engagement. Weirdly, that's how I don't know. It was a strange sensation.
It's every like interaction with characters is very subtle. Like the beats are like they're very underplayed and it's
very
slow,
small,
very slow paced. So so it took me a bit, but honestly, like that back half, some shit started like unfolding, and I was surprised by it. And honestly, the score was pretty. I was just happy with the music throughout.
Johnny Greenwood, man, he's done his last 4 movies, I think, and he's a member of Radiohead. I hope it said there.
Yeah,
you're right.
Fantastic. I mean, he like There Will Be Blood, Punch Drunk. I think he did Punch Drunk Love, but he's the one that's giving you those vibes, and they're not. These movies aren't the same without him. You know, so
some good ambiance in there. But yeah, so this and same like I don't think this one ended up being like wowing me and being like, oh fuck, like top tier PTA, but it's pretty good. Like I like it, surprisingly interesting by the end.
Yeah.
I liked your review, Alex. Everybody's got their kinks. Yeah. That's I was not expecting that to be like sort of the the consensus. At the end of this, but gotta get your rocks off. So
whatever works for.
What did you think, Alex?
This is a immaculate, fabulous, beautiful. I love this movie. Nice. It was great. I enjoyed it from start to finish. I mean, like you guys said, it was a slow burn, but I didn't really feel it dragging because I was just so interested in the characters. And what's so interesting about, like, I was talking about this earlier, is just like PTA got the idea when he got sick and his wife was caring for him and she gave him a look. And he's like, oh, I haven't felt this look in a long time. But like he took that idea and he put it in the 50s and it's a dressmaker, and then he just builds these characters and gives them so much depth, and like, oh, this guy has this trauma in his life, so this is why he acts this way. And then this girl is like, I want love. I want to show him this love, but I also want it reciprocated, even though he doesn't know how to do that necessarily because he's got mommy issues and all this stuff. He's a particular man. And then she finally figures out, oh, this is how we can work, you know? And he kind of figures it out too when he sees his mom, and he's like, oh, this woman cares for me like a mom. I need that. I mean, it could be a mommy thing, you know, that's fine if you want to look at it that way, but it's just like such an interesting way of seeing how this relationship works and how it ends up working. And the characters were just so rich, and at least that's how I felt. I felt they were just like super deep and rich, and it just was, I wanted to see him unfold. And at the end of the movie, when he puts the omelet in his mouth and he says, I'm going to kiss me before I get sick, and I was like, holy fuck, he knew.
Wow, right.
That was
such a tension-filled scene. Once he's sitting at the table, it's like he first realizes, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
He
she might have
smirks,
poisoned me.
and she's
Yeah.
cooking it with butter, and
Yeah.
it was fucking. Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was super good. I mean, it's a 5-star movie for me.
Nice.
I
Okay,
just,
shit.
I don't know. It's just every. And I was watching a video earlier today about how PTA has kind of evolved and how his movies went from like these high octane, intense camera work, you know, showing off his stuff, to where it's just slowly turned into like these
Handheld.
still frames, yeah, and like subtle camera work where it's just like you're eating up everything that's on the screen, and you know, it just felt so gritty and yeah, and you feel with this kind of movie, it kind of needs that because you want to just dig in with those characters in those moments. So that's why that kind of works. And it's not like Boogie Nights where it's just cocaine filled and, you know, Magnolia where it's like 18 stories going on at once. So it's just kind of flashing everywhere. It just
Vice where it's
worked
chaotic.
Yeah. I loved it.
It's cool. This was definitely like a really cool characters today, I think. And like a fucking lesson in like how to build character dynamics and like write characters like two simple characters together. Because damn, like and to keep it interesting, like that's a feat. So
well, I think like what you said with like how he took this idea from basically a look from his wife, I felt a lot of the meat or the engagement I was feeling was in those relationship dynamics of
for sure.
How, because I mean, it's like, unfortunately, I can kind of identify with like some of those arguments, like especially the one at the asparagus table where it's like, you know exactly what I want and you did this, you know, like it's
for sure.
It sucks. And it's like, it's all ego driven to a point, but it's all kind of like relationship based and, you know, community based or whatever. But I don't know, those hooks of those characters were enough for me. I didn't feel total engagement in the characters personally. I just didn't really care about them at a certain like level. And maybe that's just from the slow start or sort of the like unengaging opening. Cause like this and PTA's last one, most of his movies open like just fucking shot, boom, you know, like, and then this one they just like start and they kind of just go to the character and then you just like start the story. So like they're not as engaging or hooky to me. But like it, like I said, the sneakiness on this one gets to me, and I cared about the characters by the end. I just didn't have all of the character work. Like this movie's very composed, but I just don't know if it's like the best composition, if that makes sense. I don't know.
No, I feel that. I think I kind of felt the same thing you were feeling because at the beginning it was wasn't sure like what the thread I was supposed to be following, the phantom thread.
Kind of, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't know like if I was supposed to be like paying more attention to Daniel Day-Lewis's characters, like his, you know, the business, like the stuff he has to deal with as like a tailor and the people, you know, what he's trying to achieve as a tailor and all that stuff and his name and all that. And then it sort of like, and then it starts like nodding once Almond is introduced, and like that's sort of like that dynamic starts to like unwind. It's like that's more like kind of at that halfway point. That's like when it starts to got more interesting for me because I was like, oh, it's more about like what's happening between these characters and like how like, you know, how their relationship is forming and you know, like what you're being shown, but like what is actually being said kind of too, like between these characters. So
that's another thing I liked. I really liked about like this and, you know, his other movies that he has. It's like he took that idea and he placed you in the 50s as a dressmaker, and it doesn't really make the dressmaker aspect of it is just like the world that you're in with these characters. It doesn't, it's not like vital, but it just adds more depth to the characters. You know, she respects his work. And so like when she sees it being disrespected, you know, that just gives her a little bit more like depth and shows that, oh, he sees she cares for me. He likes that, you know, it kind of breaks the ice in terms of the I love you moment, you know? So it's just like, that's his own character, was the fact that he was a dressmaker and, you know, so I don't know.
That was utilized just to the point where it's like, okay, like, you know, they've hit critical mass now. Like it's just like organically gonna, like these characters are gonna organically find their way towards the end here, which is cool.
I think the like fashion did serve it though for me, because I found like nice like theme wrapping with like power and jealousy and like the relationship dynamic. I found like the fashion world kind of is like a nice, it doesn't fully like exemplify the same like themes or dynamics, but like that's just enough like wrapping paper of a theme for me to be like, Yeah, I kind of get like how you drew this relationship out of this characters or this story or whatever, but
for sure.
so it served. It wasn't the most interesting for me, obviously, but like I think it overall was good.
Yeah.
It goes back. I think you said it was relatable and stuff, and strangely enough, I mean, yeah, just I mean, as weird as it sounds, who doesn't like being taken care of, right? Who doesn't find that some attractive on some level, right? I mean, it's relatable in that aspect. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just weird that way, but
No, that's what I think was so fun about the ending of this. It's like, oh man, you actually get like a window into like this weird the language between these characters and like how it's forming into like a bond of love and trust.
And
It's cool.
It goes full kink in the end, you know, where he's just like, well, we're right here right now and I'm getting hungry. I'm just like, all right.
All right. Stay less, Daddy. Stay less.
Yeah, that's good shit. I think towards the end there, when it's like the movie's getting really good too, there's one of my favorite scenes, which is the New Year's party scene where she wants to go dancing and she leaves, and he's like, you can tell he like wants to go and he doesn't, and then he goes, and then it's like the countdown, and he's gone too late. Like he made the decision to go a little bit too late, and he's missing this moment with her now, and then he finds her. And then this scene was one of the most like engaging and like whiplashy scenes for me, because he sees her, corners her basically, and like they have like a moment of like, is it love? Is it, what is this? And then he pulls her arm away as if like he's angry, and they cut. And then 10 minutes later, it cuts back to that, what they were doing there, and they're dancing in there with no one else. They've stayed the whole night. And like, this is after they reveal like they're together and this is what they like, you know, like, because I was like, so he's angry. He didn't come here for the moment he came here for, you know, like, or he got over it and he's shifted because he's that kind of. That scene was so fucking good to me, and like the reveal later of the dancing was like exactly what I needed, you know, to show that this information was correct and this relationship was correct, and it's so good. That was good. That was good shit.
It was a nice final little puzzle piece. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's good how they let into that too, when he's like, you know, she doesn't fit, and then when she leaves, he feels that like, oh, that part of him was kind of missing, and he's
that space.
Yeah. So it just, again, it's just super relatable, because I mean, not all relationships, marriages, whatever, are going to be perfect. You know, you got to kind of figure out the ins and outs, the kinks, and the all that good stuff. So it's just, I don't know, it was super fun. And interestingly enough, when you guys mentioned the beginning being boring, I turned it on and it was 10 minutes in, and Sarah said, "This is so fucking boring." And I said, "Hey, just give it a chance." By the end of the movie, I cut my eyes over, and she had no phone in her hands, and she was completely involved in the movie. And I was like, I'm just gonna let it happen.
I got a little bit of like Eyes Wide Shut vibes with this movie, on how that one's kind of like sneaky good. It's like similar builds in a little bit, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Both great movies. I had another scene that kind of I was like took note of to be like, this is a special scene, but it's so strange. Like he's talking to his wife's ghost, I believe, right? Like he's lying in bed.
When he's sick.
Yeah. And that's like one of the most emotional scenes for Day-Lewis to play, and it was one of the best scenes in the movie. And I was just like, why is this here? But it fits, and I like it, you know, like, it's just, that was a strange one, because it's like nothing hints at some of this like supernatural stuff really, but it's, I mean, you know, those are the choices that a filmmaker makes, that he knows it, he's trusting himself that it's going to work. And I respect that, you know, because like I'm on board if you make it work and you trust yourself. So for sure.
And he kind of was he the one who said, you know, he finds it comforting that maybe the dead watch over him in the afterlife? Didn't he say that in the beginning?
Was that what he said? Was it?
I think it's something like that, where I think he was on board with the idea of like he finds comfort in the, you know, the afterlife. You know? And then, you know, like you said, he gets to that point where he thinks he's gonna die, but he's just being dramatic or whatever. He's just super sick, and then, you know, he sees his mom watching over him, and so I agree with you. Long-winded there, but I agree. That scene was super powerful and gave Day-Lewis's character just that much more meat to just chew on and understand his pivot to where he went from I'm never getting married, I'm unfixable to I see what I see the benefits here of this whole marriage thing because Alma it's Alma? Did I just yeah, where she, you know, he sees like, oh, this woman actually cares for me. This is, this can actually work. So
yeah, for sure. Another note: this is like one of the only movies that takes place outside of like California, Nevada area for PTA. It's like the only movie. So I don't know. That's just like a nice little flavor that we haven't gotten, because when I think Paul Thomas Anderson, I think California and I think California stories. And that's cool. I mean, that's the flavor that I get with him, but I like to see some flexing on different geography, different takes, different locations, characters, so I respect him just trying something different here too, so.
Cool tropes by PTA too is like getting those character relationships started with just a glance. You have Boogie Nights where Jack Horner sees Dirk across the way and that's like, oh, that's it.
True,
I'm gonna take him under my wing. And then Punch
like
Drunk
that.
Love, you see the piano and then the love interest shows up and it's just with a look. Somebody stumbles into somebody's life. This one, the waitress comes in. It's just cool little.
I did feel like maybe we missed some history with those characters. Like he had come into that shop maybe multiple times already, right? I mean,
it kind of felt like that, but I just feel like it felt so.
Right,
I don't know. It felt like a spark where he saw her. Yeah, and that was like him being like, "Oh, okay."
Because I wondered why he cared about her sometimes through the movie. I was like, what does she really bring? As far as like just over like just a muse type of situation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In the end, I was on board. It seemed like there might have been some history that they didn't show, which I'm cool with. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe that was the first moment. If I rewatch, maybe I'll get a different take. So.
Yeah.
Well, you could be right. I mean, when Cyril tells him to go into town or whatever, it feels like that's kind of his routine because he's a man of routine, right? Yeah. And when he takes it from her and says, "Are you going to remember?" though, it kind of felt like that was her first time because then he asks her out and she introduces herself as Alma. So, yeah,
maybe.
But yeah, there's not many directors that I give this many 5-star movies to. In fact, there's only 2. So.
Yeah, I was surprised how many I ended up giving him. I landed on 4 for this one, but I don't know. It's like still I don't know if he's dipped below that for me so far. So
yeah, it's good. It does good work in it. Rethinking Hard 8, I just wish that he had his way with that movie because I feel like it has so much potential to be like thinking back on it. I think I dogged on it too much.
I've been thinking that too. I don't think it's as bad as I wanted to give it at the time, but it was also like his first one, so I was like, this guy's gonna be so shit because I want you better, and it's not terrible, but I gave it like 3.5 Phantom Thread. It's like in the first half was enough of like just not interesting enough for me to be like, I don't know if I need to watch this very soon again. But the second half, kind of picks up for it, so maybe on rewatch it'll grow. That's kind of what I feel like with Eyes Wide Shut, the one I compare it to. It's like if I watched it again, I think I might just give it 5 stars. Because it's just something about it, something special about this take, this this vibe, this world.
Which of PTA stuff so far? Which do you guys is like the one that you could just like throw on in the background?
It's between Punch Drunk and probably There Will Be Blood, but honestly, the easiest rewatch is Boogie Nights. You could just in the background just because it is just like you could jump in at any scene and be with it.
That's kind of how I felt with Inherent Vice. I was like, there's so much jumping and crazy chaotic shit in this one that like when you choose to check it out, it's probably going to be in a place that's like kind of fun and weird and like goofy. So
I think Licorice Pizza might be the most like turn on movie for just turn it on PTA movie from what I remember, but I'll give you the taste next week. Other than that though, Punch Drunk Love I think is an easy go-to. Like just put this one on and you're gonna watch bits of this and fucking love it, type of movie.
What's so fun about this whole thing is like Punch Drunk Love, There Will Be Blood, and now Phantom Thread is like I think about them constantly, and I don't know. I just think that's just a good sign of a nice poignant movie that just sticks with you, you know, and
Sure.
that there's something inspiring about that. So it's fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, like I said, there's not many directors that just stick with me and that I just think about all the time randomly. So I love PTA. So maybe I'm back.
I think I'm going to be doing that more often with him. So,
Yeah, I like him. I respect him. I don't think I'd say he's my favorite filmmaker. I don't think I'd say like I don't like him though. You know, I think he's got 5-star movies for me. So that makes him a very fantastic
he's
filmmaker.
viable, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, he's watchable.
For sure.
Very least.
I don't know. Final note, I guess is I had a favorite shot where it's like inside the teapot, looking up in the murky like tea when she's about to poison him. I don't know. Good shot choices too. And I would urge you guys to watch his music videos because I picked those up over the last week, and I kind of see why his camera became more free flowy and handheld in these movies, because in those music videos, especially the one Valentine with the Haim sisters, super good music video. I'd check it out. It's just basically all free flowy, capturing what he captures with them, you know, like it's good. It's good. And I kind of understand where you're coming from, Alex, where it's like his style has changed a little bit. And I don't know if I fully like it as much, but I can respect it still. So
yeah. It's just, you know, as he gets older, it feels like it's gotten more mature, where it's kind of just slowed down and he's starting to just chew up the scenery a little bit more, rather than, you know, the fast pace, guns blazing, which I like them both. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's just, I kind of like that. I don't know, maybe I just have a thing for slow, chewing up the scenery type movies, you know?
It ain't a bad thing. Soak it in.
Like one of the most rewatchable movies is just fucking Once Upon a Time, and what happens in that movie, right? I mean, it's just fun to sit there and be cradled by Tarantino.
Characters that you want to spend time with.
Right. So, and I think that's why I like, you know, Punch Drunk and There Will Be Blood, and this one especially. It just feels like these characters are just so interesting and so much to think about. So, first movie of his too. Well, I don't know if it's the first one, but it's one of the more recent ones that he hasn't really explored the idea of where religion plays in these people's lives, I guess. I mean, it kind of delves into that with Magnolia, with There Will Be Blood,
The Master.
Yeah, it has how, you know, religion has this overarching thing in everybody's lives or touches some people in some ways. So it's just interesting to step away from that after the last few that
maybe the ghosts were enough for him to be like, that's my
I kind of felt a little bit like that, where he's like, the afterlife, you know, do people watch over us when they're dead?
Yeah.
You know, is it a comforting thought? Is it or is it a silly thought? Just, I think it can be, and you can justify it however you want, you know.
Yeah.
You might want that idea of an afterlife just because you miss those people and you want to see them again, you know, sometime.
Or you can laugh at death in the face.
Yeah.
And scoff at it.
Sorry to get on a
rage against the light.
And on a downer, guys, we're in a limo.
Yes.
You see, it's fucking the club. We see it.
I need a bump.
Yeah.
Powder.
I'm feeling it. I'm still good. I'm refreshed now after Inherent Vice's fiasco. I'm back and ready.
Cool.
I'm excited for Licorice Pizza. I haven't seen it, so it'll be fun to end on. Big fun one, I think.
Close it out for PTA.
That's the last one.
Can't believe it. Yeah, it's been fun though. I'm excited for this last one. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get to the club.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Well,
yeah. Is that it, guys?
I guess that's it. Yeah, that's the end of the stream. That's all we got. So, next week, Succession, Ted Lasso, last PTA movie, Licorice Pizza. I think there's nothing really coming out this weekend. But if you guys do end up seeing Super Mario Bros, we could talk a little Super Mario Bros next week, maybe. But anybody who's watching, thanks for watching, and join us next week or check out Stay Gold, like and subscribe.
Yeah, if you want to see any directors, you know, throw them in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we're about to start our next dive, so now's the time.
Suggestions.
Now's the time to sway us if you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let us know and stay gold, guys.
Stay gold.